The what's called the AMPT met with the Writers Guild in an attempt to make an agreement as the writers' strike crossed 100 days and more productions continue to get delayed. Joining us now to discuss more is Matt Belloni, Puck founding partner. You don't want to mess things up, Matt, I know, but you have some insight into what went on Friday, and it's going to resume, I think, at some point this week. It didn't seem quite as acrimonious, did it? Is there some headway and reason for hope based on what you're hearing for what happened on Friday?
I think there is. I mean, I don't want to overstep here because the two sides are very far apart still, but there's a key element here. We did not hear either side attack the other on Friday, which sounds ridiculous, but that is an improvement over what we had previously. The last meeting before this one on Friday started with the writers attacking the studios for supposedly leaking the agenda and then the studios responded saying it's unfortunate that the writers have to do this. So just the mere fact that we have silence on both sides here suggests that they are actually interested in being productive in getting a deal.
We obviously have had a lot of content post-COVID that was ready to come out. So consumers really haven't noticed. We haven't the spigot didn't just close. We've had stuff in the can. How much longer is that going to be the case? Do you think, to where all of a sudden we'd go, oh my God, some pressure would be exerted by the viewing public, get this done? We're there.
I think we're about to start noticing. I mean, we're going to come back from the Labor Day holiday when the traditional fall television season starts, and there's no new shows for the broadcast networks. So that's really going to be the first thing. Yes, there's been no late night shows all summer, and people did notice that. But the fact that you're going to tune in to your favorite, Law and Order or CBS procedural or whatever, and they're just not going to be there. And CBS is doing things like putting Yellowstone on CBS, and people are going to tune in and be, oh, new Yellowstone. No. That's old Yellowstone. So I think the broadcast networks are going to feel it first. And then on streaming, it'll start to show. I mean, HBO has said that they're okay for the rest of this year, but when you get into 2024, it's very dicey. We've seen some of these services start to pace out the content. They would have premiered something in September, October. That's getting pushed a little bit just so they have this, have a cushion. But I think the consumer will start to notice this stuff.
And when will the management side of things, it's when you hear things like, yeah, heck, we're saving a lot of money, not spending anything on content. This is going to go right to this is okay for us. When does that change to, really angst and anxiety about not being able to do what they're supposed to be doing as a company? I mean, you've seen some of the comments. Yeah, we're saving money. We're fine with this.
Yeah, they are telling investors that on earnings calls. And keep in mind, this is free cash flow that they are savings for the most part. But this is, they have anxiety over this. The chief negotiator did not want to go back into talks and was told to do so by the studio bosses who felt some urgency here about getting back in a room and making a deal. So there are lots of things. The fact that the actors have refused to promote movies that are already finished is a big deal, because we've seen movies that were supposed to come out September, October. Those movies have been pushed to 2024. We see movies that are supposed to come out next summer that are not finished, and they want to be finished so they're able to come out next summer. That's where the studios on the movie side are really hurting, and that's where the pressure point is. So it's not like these companies are, excited about saving money in the short term. Yeah, it looks okay on an earnings call this quarter, but they know that down the line, and Netflix even said so, it's going to be choppy coming in the next quarters, and that's what they're looking for.
So what does the eventual new world actually look like? It's not streaming was the answer to everything, and we're going to need content as far as the eye can see, and people are going to get, ask for as much money as there's going to be so much competition for the great, content producers versus, wow, this business is really hard. No one's making any money. You're lucky you're even making what you used to make because it's digital nickels instead of analog dollars. What is it? Somewhere in between those two scenarios?
Well, you just laid out the two sides there. And I think that what the guilds, what the unions are saying is that, yeah, it's tough right now. You've got to figure out how to make money in the streaming business. But the history of Hollywood is that they figure it out, that they come to some kind of a new model where they don't replace the cable bundle, but they figure out a new world order that allows these companies to be very profitable in streaming, as Netflix has become, and they can pay the increased residuals, increased wages, all the things that the writers and actors want. The question is, can they get there? And, you listen to these companies, it's doom and gloom a lot. But I do believe in the long term, entertainment has proven itself to be a very profitable business.